Hello and welcome to Nightmare Sirens Gaming channel. That's myself, Siren. As you can see, we've got Dungeons, Dragons and Space Shuttles. It's a massive Minecraft mod pack on Twitch and Curse, made by my man Freebi, just a shout out there. What we'll be doing today is doing a little bit of showcase of the current Patron's Bases. It's been voted that we're going to do a new map when we migrate the server over to its new home. So all the hard work that all the patrons have done since the release of the server back in, I think it was the end of November, December, I thought it was worth actually just giving them a bit of a showcase. So there's quite a few claims that are currently here, so we'll just kind of have a pop around through them, just kind of see what we can see, and go from there. And I will show you a bit of the spawn as well that was put together by some of the maintenance team, so we'll have a look at that as well. So here we go. I'm just logging in, a bit of a dirt screen, nothing new to us. And here we are, we have logged in. So this is where you would log in when you first come into spawn. And we have our fearless leader, Freebi, just a statue that was created by myself, kind of as a little tip to the hat to him. And then I have put this little thing on here, which we don't have to really look at. So again, just as this is spawn, the idea was originally we were going to have each patron that came on to build something in one of these plots, and some did, some didn't, so we'll just have a quick look at what we do have here. So looks like we've got a little bit of a shopping area, which is quite cute. I like the idea of using the wall blocks for the tops here. What else do we have? We've got some trash cans out the back. With the doors. It would have been great to put some NPCs which we could have built from here, that would have been great. We've got, this was built by Sart. Interesting, I didn't realise those opened by themselves. We've got some really good use of Mr. Crayfish mod, where we've got kitchen counters and the ceiling fans. He's also stocked the fridge, I believe, yes he has. Of liquor, which is pretty fantastic. Sart is a fantastic builder, a real good shout out to him. He's done a lot to the spawn itself, a lot with Mr. Crayfish. So we've got all these up here just kind of for the beer, which is great. So we'll keep going down, go out the back door. Sart also did put in this, which was pretty good for the new starters. And this music is a bit loud, so I'm going to turn it down. There we go, that's a bit better. Which was just to kind of try and showcase a bit about the best ways to do farming for DDS and some of the different options that we do have here. He then put some nice takeaways for anybody who is to come on the server, and around the back a bit of a history as well, kind of how you would go about doing a nice little farm here, which I thought was quite good and quite a nice little trick. This little trick using the trapdoor to block in the water allows you to see the water, which is very cute. If we continue on this way, Sart again has put some really good work into this here, which is, got a doorbell there, which is just a little, I guess, house. Customs, apparently. What else do we have here? We've got some empty crates. And upstairs, just more crates. It looks like a nice way to, please turn the lights off. Just kind of a storage area and some nice ships. Some really good uses of the mine wood trapdoors from Twilight Forest, and the structural cables with, I'm not sure what he's using there, wires I would assume? Hemp rope. Hemp rope he's using. And then just to kind of show you what the... Can't really see much from here, but this is kind of what our spawn looks like. If we then go underneath, we made quite a nice use of the stargates, which honestly just puts us underneath, but you never know where it's going, so that's cute. And some portals which were supposed to teleport everyone elsewhere. Then we've got Hell. I like the use of the different red coloured tiles, blocks, that kind of led us into Hell. And the same here, this is for the end. And then we've got the Twilight Forest. It's great use of the etched Nagastone. That's fantastic, isn't it? And then this was going to be the Lost City, but we never actually implemented it, had some issues. But I've also noticed as well, we've changed the texture of the stargates for each one, so this one's a little bit darker and etched, and then we've got this one which is more red, and that one's blue, that one's also blue, and that one, but we have a couple different options in here. And then we have the hunting dimension as well. So if we go back out here, so let's go ahead and start having a look at some of these bases. So we can start at claim list. We can start, because it's a little bit funny, we're actually going to start at freebies. Why is this claim at the bottom? I don't actually know. I've had a few of these which are really weird. There we go. So Freebi didn't actually play for very long. I think his play time might actually only be maybe a few hours, but I think in that time he really kind of shown us what it is to start out in DDS, DDSS I suppose I should say. You know, he's got a dirt wall too high to make sure it keeps out most of the mobs, and then he's got doors basically letting him out to the different places. He's actually managed to get himself a really good place here where he's got, it is a savannah, so he's going to have to deal with, it's a savannah, isn't it? Yeah. He's going to have to deal with those horrible mobs that spawn in groups. What is that? A horse. I thought it was a cat. But anywho, yeah, so he's spawned obviously in the savannah, so he's going to have to deal with the horrible guys that spawn in groups. But then he's got two different types of sand biomes here, which is going to be great for his glass. That's an interesting structure. I've never seen that kind of structure before. And he'll also actually have to deal with the bugs as well, which is, you know, a little bit scary. But he did manage to find a village over that way, and obviously he's on the water as well. So again, he's got the normal sand and plenty of trees, which is great. And then he's got obviously his little bit of a farm, using the worm option. Sorry, for some reason I couldn't think of the word for worm. Yeah, so that's Freebi's base. Simple, I think, but considering the length of time that he actually played, I thought, you know, it was really good to kind of start there and have a look as to how he started out and what we might be able to learn from that. So if we move on, if I can remember how to turn on my GUI, which I can't apparently. I think my G keys have decided to play tricks on me. So, I'm an idiot. The reason it doesn't work is because I'm in spectator mode. I don't have a GUI without not in spectator mode. Tell a lie, maybe that's not it either. Frick. So it's only while you're actually recording that things don't actually work out properly. I will edit this a bit later. Anyways, going back to this, so we have a few more on here. We'll kind of just maybe go down the list a bit. I know Kaigoku was quite on the server quite a lot and had quite a good base. Sizewell did build something quite big. Syntax is our resident streamer and did some really good stuff. I'm not sure about Death Pursuiter and Dr. Talos, but we'll have a look and go see. Nope, didn't really do much, so we'll kind of skip nope. We may actually go see his B home, which I think is on the next page, just because it's really good. Kaskoba has got a pretty interesting looking base. My base is pretty bland, but I'll show you anyways, just because I have no idea what Kurita was doing. Danik's base is pretty massive. M's base is pretty massive. Size is okay. Dirk's is just a box of dirt because he didn't play much, and that is basically what we've got. What we'll do, because we can hit mine, nopes, and M's all at the same place, we'll go ahead and have a look at that. So we'll try this first and see what happens. So where did we end up? On the top of my base, funny enough. So I ganged up with one of the other guys on the server, Burnt Goosebones. He is... That was loud. He is a fantastic builder, way better than I will ever pretend to be. He is one of those people that builds and you build on the back of his designs, because he is that good. We found, or started to see an issue down there where our portals were, where we had dodo spawning, and we decided to play a trick, because there was two teams on the server, Team EU, which I was proudly part of, and Team US, and we decided to play a bit of a trick after we were ridiculously overwhelmed by dodos, and go and place, what is this called? This thing here, mycelium. Go and place mycelium in their base in random places, because wherever there's mycelium, it will spawn a dodo, and then a dodo will go to a new piece of grass, and on that grass it will spawn mycelium, which then spawns more dodos, and the cycle continues and continues and continues, and then you're just overwhelmed, which is just ridiculous. The amount of cullings that we did, you know, it was hilarious and also horrible. But Team US did actually catch on to the issue and removed the mycelium and therefore culled a lot of their dodos. They didn't, as far as I know, ever catch on that it was me / Team EU, but it was a lot of fun anyways to do and have a little trick on them. So without further ado, here is some of the dodos. Oh, God, look at them. There's so many. And we'll get to that later, but we'll go down here and have a look. So in this hole, in that little door there, is Goose's base that I decided to move in with him. Over that way was a base that I started, and Goose didn't like my building, so we decided to move out and let him build. Oh, I'm in creative again. Not creative, spectator, so let's just change this to... Here we go. So here we are. So a lot of this I have kind of built on since Goose stopped playing, but the majority of the design was his. So we'll just kind of go around and see what we've got going on. I really do like his chisel designs, which are above the, what is that, spruce planks? Spruce wood blocks, which are also circular, if you can tell, which is quite nice. But what was here for these doorways, which is something that I was never able, wasn't very keen on, which a lot of people actually play with, was like a space wide enough just for like one character to walk through, so a 1x2 space, which I always found quite difficult to get through. So I implemented these. Oh, what is that mod called? This one. The architecture craft arced areas, arced entrances, which I think actually made this area feel much bigger, and they just look nice. Minecraft curves, they just look so nice. But yeah, we've got kind of a catch-all room here that never really took off, but it's got a small ME system which was connected to M's much bigger system, which never really seemed to stick. There's some weird loading issue with it, even though this entire area was in one chunk, which is strange. But then this is probably my most favorite part, which is this is a false block. So when we go through here, you don't even know that there is a door there, which is great. And then we have these doors, which I still haven't quite figured out how Goose did this. These are not 3 wide doors, because you can't click them to close them. So I honestly don't know how he managed it. Yeah, I just don't know how he did it. So that's that. And then this. He did this, I think, off the back of a comment that I made, which is I wanted a room full of smelteries that I would be able to make lots of stuff in and not have to worry about it. And these smelteries are massive. Let's see. That kind of tells you how far down they actually go. There is not much in here, and they just go, which is great. I'm pretty sure you can stick a whole stack of stuff in there. We've got... Oh, this is going to be loud. There's a blood room in here, so apologies, it's going to be loud for a minute, which has the biggest tier altar that was almost finished. As you can tell, it's not quite finished, but it wants to be. Filled with blood. I like the idea of the, the flowing blood, which is really great. But yeah, those bleeders are just so noisy. So noisy. Plus, can somebody tell me why this works inside? I honestly don't get it. It shouldn't work inside, and yet there it is. But moving on from that, I utilized it anyways. So here we are. This is a power room that I started to put in place, which was mostly off of M's storage stuff. And I just tried to put into place a couple different versions of storage using the XNet system, which ran through. So the idea was we grew the coal and fire seeds to make sand seeds and that sort of thing, all in these cloches, which then went over into this crafter, which then went in the pulverizers and the magma crucibles and then the fractioning cells to actually create the naphtha, which is in there now, which then went over to these compressed dynamos to make ridiculous amounts of power, which then fed into that resonant... Is that a resonant? No, it's the one below it, I think. The yellow version. It might be green, actually. Anyways, go into that battery, which then is wirelessly connected to anything else, so I didn't have to run any extra wires. I did a canola setup as well, which was also using cloches, additional seeds going into a void box here, so that you didn't have anything go in elsewhere, and then extra canola go in there as well. There is this amazing thing, which Danik had shown me, if I could figure out... Ah, there it goes. Which is this little buddy there, which is a Galacticraft hopper. If I put hopper in there, yeah, this one here, a liquid hopper from Pneumaticraft, is actually really great. If you put a source block in front of it with a particular upgrade, I couldn't tell you what the upgrade is. Some type of liquid upgrade of some sort. It will actually pull water as if you don't need anything else. It doesn't need power, and you basically are just pulling power from like a source block, which is just great. And I absolutely love these vibrant glass. I like how it like sparkles with bubbles. It's very, very cool. But that is basically my base. It's relatively straightforward and nothing super special, but it is big, which made running around to different sections quite difficult, as well as trying to build a more succinct like processing area, because everything's kind of split out into different areas. Not something that personally I prefer. And then obviously we have our bonsais. I do love a good bonsai, to be fair. But the building is absolutely fantastic. Goose is so good at building, and yeah, it's just great. So I'll show you a little bit more of his building. Ignore the massive building in the background. Goose did not build that, but he did build this. I think it's supposed to kind of look like a chariot, maybe. I think that's what maybe the circle's for, but this was a great idea for how to deal with the astral sorcery area and the shrine, which obviously we have an upgraded shrine here. Lots of the astral rays, and then we have the attunement altar over here with somebody's death. I wonder whose death that is. Ice Mage. Okay. But yeah, it's just a great way of dealing with astral sorcery, because it is just up in the air all by itself, not touching anything, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll show you the farm as well, which Goose started, which, I just don't understand where he gets these ideas. Completely, yeah. It's just a cube, but then it has this great out front area, which is kind of like an observation area, and you just come on in. So we've got a farm and silo, and then we've got just a small set of drawers there with a controller for what do you call that? XNet. And then we were going to have so many more seeds, but in the end we actually just didn't need them. So each area's got a harvester and XNet connected to it, and there's, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 layers of this, with all of these different types of seeds. I wonder when that was put there. Interesting. But yeah, it's a great idea, and it's a fantastic way to farm, and he's truly said it correctly when he said it is a farming silo, because that is exactly what that is. And I just realized the top is glass, which is great. So moving on to this, there is nothing inside, so I won't actually show you inside. I will show you the bottom of it. Well, I guess I will show you inside because I have to go inside to go. But this was going to be Sizewell's base, and unfortunately, dear Size, he needed to go back and finish, I think it's a master's degree or something. So he didn't actually get to move in, but it is quite impressive nonetheless. So we'll show you. So he started to build underneath and decided to move up. We've got a few interesting things here. So this is a, let's see, can I click that on? Yeah, make the sheep. So this is all done through integrated dynamics. Oh, not sure what came to me. But yeah, this is all done through integrated dynamics, and as you can see, they're using, what are they using in there? A mob duplicator with a color sheep, and it just spawns and spawns and spawns. I'm hearing things die somewhere. And then the idea is then you use this, and it culls all the sheep and collects all the wool, and then they're using the I don't actually know the name of this flower, but basically the idea is it spits out colored wool and makes mana out of it. It seems to be quite an interesting setup. I've never seen it done before, but yeah, it seems to work okay. I actually don't know. Don't actually know what this is, and I just deleted something, but it's fine. Doesn't matter. So I'll show you downstairs. This was quite an interesting thing. Wow, this is actually still processing. Wow. Fun. Okay. So yeah, there's still stuff processing, even though he's not actually online. But this was basically a kill chamber, which just spawned things ridiculously. I don't actually know if it works. Yes, it does. And does it kill things? Sounds like it's trying to kill them, but it doesn't actually appear to be working all that well. Let's try. If I put that in there, does that work? No. But yeah. I think eventually that will kill the stuff in there. I think. Not sure. But yeah, so this was basically where Sizewell's base got to. And then there's a ridiculous amount of void ore miners down here with some mobs. I'm not really sure what's causing mobs to spawn down here, except for potentially myself. But, I mean, look how many spiders spawn down here. It's ridiculous. Like, why? But yeah, so that's that. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. This is the way out. So the next one is our resident, we'll try Beekeeper first. This is all M's base. He was our resident ME or AE guru. And then we've got bees. Oh, I've just noticed that his bee sonogram thing is, not sonogram, hologram is missing, which is strange. But so this is M's base. He's done some really good work to it. I really like his building as well. But the biggest thing is not what the outside looks like, but what the inside looks like, as I miss. This is the inside. So he's built hallways into his base, which I just find absolutely and truly amazing. And then in each area he's then built a specific automation, which is incredible. So this is the advanced crafting room, and then there's there's doors a lot of the places, and then if we continue, I think it's got multiple floors downstairs with more crafting. Oof. Oh, he made his treasure room. He said he wanted to. What? What am I scared for? Oh, you're cheeky. Yeah, cheeky. I don't even know what I destroyed. Good lord. There we go. Good lord, man. But yeah, he wanted to create a treasure room to hold... it was a dragon egg. That's what I destroyed. He wanted to have a room full of dragon eggs, but I think the fact that he had just the one and, neutronium block, moon turf, platinum block, block of stadium. Really? You're just gonna push me like that? Die. And the majestic block, which changes colors. That's cool. I did not know that happened. And yeah, sneaky false blocks made to look like maybe iridium, I think. Yes, it's just yeah, definitely iridium. It's too good. That is great. I did not know he actually managed to put that in place. That's fantastic. Okay, so moving on. He's got lots of ME terminals in here, so if we have a quick look, say craftable, everything in here is craftable by the ME system or AE system. You know, majestic ingots, for example. What's another big thing in here? The ultimate control units are craftable in here. And I believe we can actually... Yes. I mean, come on, guys. That is truly freaking amazing. It just goes on and on. I mean, Triberium, we can autocraft Triberium blocks. Vibranium blocks, apparently, we can autocraft, which I didn't know that was even possible. Ancient Dust. It's just the truly complete automation at this base, and it is truly a piece of work. I think this base and one other base on the server is probably the bases which are the most progressed out of the entire estate. And also, this is the brain, which is a complete mess. But I love how multicolored he made it. Why can't I not fly? There we go. Yeah, he made it completely multicolored, which is, you know, it's worth it. Definitely worth it. And I like that there is enough processing power in just these blocks. He does not have any further ME controller blocks except these. You know, sometimes you see ME controller areas which are just so massive, but this is all he needs, and you know, I thought that was really great. And we've got some these are auto crafting controllers or something like that. So they've been named after different members of the Patron team, which I thought was really cool. Don't mind this area. This was like his, I'm only making some stuff, I think, and eventually it just kind of outgrew him. Apparently he wanted to make a neutronium compressor and crystalline ingots. Ooh, he made crystalline ingots? I didn't know that. Crystalline? Crystal matrix plates. Crystal matrix. Oh, there. Wow. He's done it. Auto-crafted crystalline. Jesus. This man. So impressive. So freaking impressive. And then we do have, I'll just show you because it's here. Just kind of the stores of stuff that we have at this base. So we've got 655,000 mineral essence. I think that's chrome. 95,000 chrome. You know, that it's quite incredible. Quite incredible indeed. But yeah, so that is Team EU's base. I think is the best way to kind of view that for you. If we go then to Danix. So this is Team US. Their base started out... Okay. What is all that? Sugarcane. Weird. Their base started out with, I think it was like 3 members. And it was this area. Oh, I see what's happening. Something is overloaded here. What the hell is it even... Okay, there we go. Just fix that a minute. I have to message Danik later just to let him know that that is happening, because yeah, that left a lot of blocks just on the ground like that. But anywho, oh my god. I guess there's more. There we go. Is there more? Just, yep. Right. Yeah, so anyways, this started out with just the 3 of them, and they started out in this little house here. Oh my god, I just keep collecting them. Are they just... Okay. Yeah, so they just started out in this little base here. This is actually really good on the inside. I do like the use of the carpet. It is really pretty fantastic. I'm not sure, I think Sart probably built this one as well. And then we've got, what are these guys doing? Okay, those are pretty good actually. So these are from the Nether. And my PC is frozen. There we go. So these are from the Nether, and they're on anchor plates. This is a fantastic way to deal with villagers, which I had never thought of, but yeah, it's a great way to deal with villagers. And then we've got some pretty good kitchen area. If we go downstairs, again, their building is pretty cool. They've made really interesting use of some of the blocks. I think this was like a sand generator or something. Not sure. Oh no, this was their decontamination unit. So basically, when they'd go offline and somebody completed loads of quests, they would go and collect, accept all of the quests, and just let them fall into the hoppers, which then, if I can get through that door, went over to the chest, and they could just deal with, which was pretty cool. And they've got loads of different villagers in here. And then they've got a coke oven, but look how that is so covered and designed. It's so good. And then what else do we have? We've got loads of drawers here. I thought these drawers were quite good. I've never seen green drawers before. That's a fantastic, interesting use. And these grey drawers as well. The red is obviously acacia. And then their mini farm, which was inside with cloches. And then we have more villagers here as well. And so this is really quite cool, which I could never figure out how to really get working properly. But their use is actually pretty good, where you've got liquid starlight and then lava, and then you have 2 conveyor belts, and you turn it on to... There's a release. Oh, why? Don't know why I'm being pulled into that thing. There we go. But yeah, turns it on, and basically sand then falls into the conveyor belt, which you can then collect. It's weird that I was getting pulled in by that thing. But this is a fantastic way to deal with it, definitely, because then it just falls out and you don't have to deal with the... I don't even know what I was going to say. I got distracted. But yeah, they've got some pretty cool different villagers sitting here as well. So then if we go up, and then we can go back upstairs again, we've got an enchanting room with... not really sure what was going on here. And then their trophy room. I mean, look at the way they've used those. That's fun. They're just, it's really good. And I know, these are really cool. If you click them, haha! Free wither skulls. But good luck getting one. So, out here. Oh my god. Shelly. Did that screenshot work? I can't believe Shelly! Sorry. So there are so our resident builder goose decided to make some copies of Shellis who plays on the server, one of the guys for team... Is that thing moving? Yeah. For team US. And they're all downstairs, which I'm not sure. Can I... I'm trying to think of how do I get down there again. It's not here. It's in this area, so I'll show that first. So Shelly was the blood mage for the area. So as you can see, he's got loads of undead, what are these things called? Trees? Well, I honestly cannot think. And then we've got the lava stone. And then he's got a false block here somewhere. Oh wait, no, I think it's in the middle. It's in the middle. Yep. Which spits you out downstairs. And then we have all of the dudes here. Which is just amazing. Look at these. Aren't they cool? These are made completely of chisel and bits all. Look at that. Chisel and bits. And they're just copies. And yeah, they're just very, very cool. And they just watch over the blood altar here. So then if we want to go back up, I believe it's in here. There we go. And we're back out. So while we're here, we may as well have a look at Danik's collection of... What are these called? Rockets? Wow, I cannot think. But yeah, so this is just completely and utterly amazing. All the different rockets that he's made. He's done such a great... Sorry, all the animals are like distracting me. He's from the Twilight Forest. But how did he... I don't even... But yes, he's made an incredible effort on the server, and, you know, I think he's progressed the furthest in regards to how far you can go on the server. So, moving on. The next thing is the thing that's probably staring us all in the face, which is the giant chest. This giant chest. Let's see if I can get in. I can't remember. Did they... game mode, spectator. This giant chest is at the top a treasure room, as you can see. So at the top we have a treasure room. Did I hear? I don't even know where he is. But yeah, so at the top we've got a treasure room, and then as we go down, it is just ridiculous amounts of drawers, and it just continues to go. So if we go back into spectator, just so that you can see the enormity of this. Oh, I don't know if I can find... There we go. Look at this. Look how many drawers there are, and they just go and go. As you can see, a lot of them are not filled in, and this was ridiculous how many drawers we had, but he wanted to make it, and he made it. I don't know why we have the sound, of a werewolfian at the top. And then Shelly. Oh, I love it. I love it. I can't... yeah, it's great. Anywho's, continuing on. So this tree was originally just a original tree, and then they just built around it and built on the different levels here. I couldn't even tell you what's going on right here. Some type of processing, which is pretty incredible. And a blast furnace? So that's interesting. I did not realize that you could put multiple blast furnaces on the machine casing. That makes things interesting. Something I will definitely have to take away with me for sure. I think my favorite part of this base is probably this area, which I'm going to go into creative for so I can better interact with things. I like the use of the redwood leaves just because of the way that they look. And then as we go in here, there is this little face with the eyes. And, you know, again, the architecture craft railings and the Mr. Crayfish, which Sartarga was fantastic at using. And again, the Mr. Crayfish, and it looks great. And then just to put it on, Chet the Chef, which will give you emeralds, or wheat for emeralds. And then off of each little area here, there is a sliding door with a little area for each player. I think was kind of the idea, and just to kind of use up the space. Looks like not everybody used it, but you know, it was an interesting use of space anyways. And then as we continue up, it just continues to swirl and swirl and swirl, and they do have a processing unit. Is this it here? I think it was inside this. So inside here there's more processing as well, which is really good. And then, yeah, if we go all the way up to the top, which does take a minute because this tree is absolutely massive, we have what looks like a claw on the map, if you can see up in the corner, and we've got all the Draconic Evolution stuff, which again is a great way to utilize the space. It was very, very creative. I absolutely love it, and kind of wish I had thought of it. And then if we continue all the way up to the very tippy top of the tree, we have all of their astral sorcery stuff. Now, I'm not going to begin to tell you exactly what's going on up here because there is a lot, but I can tell you that Danik has done a lot of work with astral sorcery, because that's kind of what he wanted to focus on this time around. I don't think there's Danik's side of the base, so I'll have a quick look through that. But the only other thing I can think of that's in here is this. Why am I still getting sugarcane? They've got a smeltery here as well, which I thought was really, really cool. They've used the it's like Forge multi-part CPE red alloy wires to control the redstone associated with the different areas to create their ingots, which are connected to pipes, and also basins up at the top. Again, I really like the use of the factory machine blocks to create fans, which just gives it that little extra touch to continue on with things. But yeah, I thought this was a great thing, a great like look into their smeltery. Wow, I honestly cannot think of words today. Their smeltery. Oh, and there's another area which I didn't know existed. But yeah, so there's that, and he's even like Sartre's even put in like rafters up here, which, you know, why you wouldn't even think to do that? Like, it's just so good. And then obviously much bigger fans made of a bigger multi-block worth of the blocks. So if we go and have a look in here, this is glass. That's cool as well. To make up the additional space that is the Tier 6 environmental tech. I believe this is the void ore miner. Yes. What else have we got? I have no idea what either one of these machines do, but that's okay. We can move on. Is that... No, I thought that was a door. So they do have as well in here, which I thought was pretty cool, is this area under here. Mind the gap, yeah. Which is basically all of their power. Everything that feeds their base comes out of this one area. I think the majority of things, there we go, is through this. So this is their induction matrix, which I believe Danik has hooked up his Ender Pearl power generation before Freebi nerfed it. But yeah, it's pretty good. This base is actually really quite amazing. Oh, those freaking bugs. And then what we do now is we're going to continue over. I like the flag as well. Look at the flag. Small touches, guys. Small touches makes the world go round. So this is Danek's build. This is nothing to do with the rest of the team. This is Danek completely. I thought this was pretty fantastic. I like the use of the different types of blocks. He does use magnesium blocks, which is a little bit expensive, and IOX blocks to make the base, but it looks good. And this use of the quartz walls looks fantastic as well. You know, it gives it a good texture, and in Minecraft, everything is about texture. Hello. Now, I don't know what he's using this area for now, because as far as I can tell, there isn't any... I'll have to go into spectator mode just to make sure there's nothing underneath, because as far as I was aware, he was moving everything into this base. He did have some dimension stuff here, and it was all basically to get away from that area because it became quite laggy considering everything was kind of on top of each other as it went down, because it's probably all in one chunk, which could cause it to be a little bit laggy. So let's just go into spectator now just to kind of see if he's managed to hidden anything underneath. Here we go. He has not. There is nothing underneath his base. So I don't know what he's done. I honestly don't know where the rest of his base went. If he happens to tell me at a later date, I'll make sure to make another post for it. But at the moment, this is all we know. I'm just going to take a minute just to say, look at the top of that. That is really satisfying. This use of the frame slanted blocks is really quite fantastic. Yeah, I do actually quite enjoy that. That's visually pleasing, definitely. Right, okay, who else should we see? So if we do claim list again, just to get it nice and clear on our thing. Let's go and have a look at Kaikoku and see what he has to show us. So again, we're underneath the ground. I don't know why these are doing this way, but his base is all the way at the top. Here we go. So Kaikoku, the poor guy, I felt so bad for him, had loads of issues with, there are these little dudes, I don't know if we'll find any, but there's these little guys that wander about the forest and replant the forest. So a couple times he's taken, as you can see from the way this looks, he's taken like a builder to just destroy the forest. And then a blood moon would come along. What is all that? No. A blood moon would come along and he'd have to completely redo the whole thing along because all of those little guys would respawn with a freaking blood moon. So let's have a look to see what he's got. So we've got a little bit of farm here, which is pretty good, but the biggest thing for him is his buildings. I love this look. I love that he's used the spikes on the tops of his base like that, and then he has continued out this way with a bit of brick, which just looks really good, especially with the immersive engineering stuff, because it just fits really well. If we go inside, I don't think this thing... Oh god, the thing sounds horrible. Is this thing tamed? Ha! It is tamed! So he's got a tamed... I can't even think of what those things are called. Nope. Don't know. But I think that's basically... What's going on down here? Looks like he's started some auto-crafting, but hasn't really gotten that far, but that's okay. The majority of things that I wanted to show you about his base was his buildings, because his buildings were really good. I mean, this was another great use of textures and blocks, where he's used, what is he used here? I feel like this is cheats, it's not showing me anything. Yeah, don't know. If anybody knows how he did these X's, please let me know. But yeah, so he's done, you know, great work with textures using the framed walls to as like a guide rail, and then coming into here, and he's got a little bit of a storage unit with these open areas, which he looks like he was going to cover with some red stained glass. But yeah, this is, you know, this is what I like about looking at these bases. They're just too good. Okay, so who else do we have? So with the Kaigoku Sizewell Syntax, I just need to find the right teleport for Syntax because he's got a few on here. One of them is right, and I can't remember which one. I found it recently. Maybe I just flew up. Yes. Look at this. Syntax played all on his own. He did not have help in building this. This was his complete own design, as far as I'm aware. It's just so good, so satisfying to actually look at. His progress may not have been very far, but when you look at what he achieved in regards to like his builds, it's, you know, he takes time and he thinks about what he builds and he puts real good thought into it, and he makes some really fantastic stuff. For those of you who may have watched some of his streams, this is fantastic. His boat. He left his boat. Okay, so let's continue on the tour. So if I go into creative, because you really do have to walk through this. I mean, that's pretty good, just laying on top. It looks freaking massive. But just his use of blocks is really great. You know, he uses andesite. You know, this is just stone, but these are, sorry, this is andesite as well, but they're completely different textures, which makes them look like different blocks. With the wood planks. This was his original base, but he quickly outgrew it, so he moved into that much bigger structure over there, but we'll show you through it anyways. As we walk up this way, it looks like he was going to put blood magic in this side. That's an interesting use of ineffable glass. So, yes. So yeah, this was going to be his original base, but yeah, like I said, he quickly outgrew it. For those of you who may have watched his stream, you will know how quickly he outgrew that. It did not take long. This is quite good as well. He came onto stream one day and there was an arrow there. And on that arrow there was, I think it was a helm, a dragon helm of some sort, which he then used for the remainder of his stream as far as I know. Again, this is something that I love to do, is basically not leave the end portal just kind of empty, I guess, and he's kind of built around it, which kind of makes it feel a bit more part of the world rather than just a portal standing by itself. If we go up this way, he's got lots of little farms down here, which are connected. Not sure if there's any way to actually get to them. I'm sure that there must be. No. He then originally had his mana set over this way to kind of make use of the grassy space, but he has moved that since as well. With this little spot up here, I mean, he didn't need to leave this open. He could have filled it in or filled in the bottom of this, but Syntax faction, it's filled in, it looks fantastic, so many different textures, and then obviously we have the continuation of the wall. So if we go up here, and then we go up this way, moving into his place here. This is really cool. I had a quick look to try and figure out how to kind of move around. It is a little bit difficult, but it's not my base, so I don't know exactly everything. But I love how he's got multiple blocks in between those two elevators, and you don't feel it. You go from one to the other and it feels completely seamless and fantastic, and you don't actually see the next elevator, which is great. It's the same for the next level. When you go up, is it not that one? Yeah. When you go up, you don't see the elevator, but you go up and you don't feel it. It's great. But yeah, so Syntax, again, is a fantastic builder. This is like a great way to make your smeltery look completely different. I've never seen a smeltery particularly like this. I have seen the use of having them more built in this way, but I really quite enjoy this. I like the fire, and then obviously there is underneath it there is the tank, and then you have your casting table and basin on the other side with all of your blocks that you need. It's just it does help with the blocks that he's used and the rest of his building, that it all kind of matches up, which is great. He then has used some pretty good building techniques here with Mr. Crayfish mod as well. I like the use of leaving the bread on the table, which is really good, and this Mr. Crayfish candle, and it's just great because it kind of overlooks the area and it's all open, and you know, you're not living underground, you're living above the ground without being in a blocked off place, which I think is just fantastic. I do actually still really like his use of the AE stuff here. He's got his terminal, and then inside he's got his controller. On one side he's got his ME drive, and then his wireless access, and then on the other side he's got another drive that he's not quite using, but again, it looks good, and then with the marble and the chisel twisted, it just kind of adds to the look, because it kind of continues the look, which I would assume he would have replaced with ME controllers as he got them. Just again, an interesting use of tiles or blocks to kind of make the space look really good. I mean, who designs an area around their Empower? Look at it. So good. So if we go up a bit, come on, I think you go up. Don't you go up? Do you go down? Oh, you go down. He does have a small space here, which has got some immersive engineering stuff, which I thought was quite good. I don't think that goes down. No. And then I'm gonna go into spectator again. Game. He's got some extra space here, which there's no real elevator up, which means he must have been hovering in between to kind of get up to the next space. And again, to this one, there's the elevator there, which brings you up to this next space, and then up to here, there's nothing. And then up again is the area that he was going to use for his astral sorcery, and this is the top of his base. So again, just to kind of give you a bit of a full mode of how it looks. This is what we've got going on. It's just really good. You know, there's small accents on the outside with the vines and, you know, the shutters. It's really good. And then we have a really interesting area over here, which was going to be his Botania area. You know, we've got waterfalls, we've got space here, which is completely empty space, but it gives the fountain a look, which is totally, again, Syntax's kind of motif, the way he builds, which is just great. The use of stairs here just gives it a little bit more texture, and yeah, it's just so good. So good. I love his buildings. I love the way he builds. You just can't get very much better than this. Okay, enough of me gushing. So, on to the next one. Claim list, which is going to be... let's try Death Pursuiter. Well, I'm pretty sure this is not his base. Let's go up. Okay, well, not really sure what's happened there. It does look like maybe he was building here. There's a smeltery here, so maybe he took over the village, potentially. Okay, that's fine. Moving on. Dr. Talos. What we got in here? Dr. Talos, I know, was in the wall. Yes, so there's spawn. And there's the lake that he was referring to. And then here is his base. So we do have a really good setup originally for farming. And then as you move over this way, we've got some portals, we've got some mana setups, and then we have a little bit of power. And then if we follow this power line all the way down, we have an underground base here, which does have quite an interesting setup. I mean, look how many. Most people couldn't even find them. Why? Because Talos had them all. Look at them. What else do we have? We've got a ridiculous amount of anvils here. This is a pretty cool setup with an external heater. I wonder what that does. Some more good use of carpet and lots of chests. I do really like the flowers and that sort of thing around the bed, which is really good. Though I feel like the wooden spike above your bed is a little bit masochistic, but we're going to quickly move on from that. We have the smeltery, and if we follow this area up, we have a massive chest area, which has got ingots and all sorts in it, which is good. And then these are just different areas to see outside. Okay. If we move on then, I can't remember if we've gone to Cabosa or not, so we'll quickly go. And again, I'm underneath the ground. No. So, this is what I knew Cabosa's base to look like, which was this this area, which is completely different from a lot of the builds that we've seen so far. It's much darker. It's but it doesn't mean that it's in any way worse. It's just, it's different. Worse is the wrong word. I need to edit that out later. It's not even sure what that is, but its use of blocks is more futuristic, I think maybe is the word, because it's completely different. Oh, he's got a fission reactor. Oh, well, okay. And a panda head! Look at it! It's so cute! I don't know what's going on down here. It's like a base down here. I don't even know how you get down here. From outside, apparently. But these Aurora blocks are fantastic. I love how they change color. We've got a white picket fence. I think he was starting to build down here and obviously hasn't continued, but as you can see, this looks like it was going to be really good. The texture difference in between these really super smooth Aurora blocks from Twilight Forest and then the underground black granite cobble just looks pretty fantastic. And then it's set back one by the wall, so it just gives it a little bit more texture, which again just looks futuristic. It doesn't look very Minecrafty because of the shifting colors. It's a really good use of blocks. So We'll continue on. The place that I saw, which completely boggled my brain and I was really excited to see, is not that, is this area over here. The reason it boggled my brain was because of that particular item there, the blood tree in a box covered with the black lens. M did something almost exactly similar, and I don't know if he got that from Cabosa or Cabosa from M. Either way, it's happened, and I thought it was really, really cool. So, this is pretty interesting with our Creeper Creepy. This is a time tree, a time wood tree, which I believe speeds up the tick rate of stuff. I think it might be plants around you. I just really like how its roots are just kind of spread out and it's just hanging from, you know, the sky like that. It's completely unique and I haven't seen anyone actually do it yet. If we start at the bottom here, we've made really good use again of the Aurora blocks. I'm pretty sure he just wiped out all of the Aurora blocks from the Twilight Forest. But then again, he's used basalt walls like we have seen some of the other players use. And then this, I thought this was really good. I really, really adore the rainbow trees that are from the Twilight Forest, and I thought this was a fantastic way to use them. We have them on both sides, so when we come out and have a look here, they just have this really fantastic look as you look at the entrance. Then if we come this way, I did kind of finish a little bit of this up when I was coming across them earlier. But I love this use of the ethereal glass or the walk-through glass that you can use, just because it looks, you know, it just looks so good. We'll just finish that up for it. Because, you know, there's no doors and it's see-through and it's open, and I think that's the big thing that doesn't really happen in Minecraft. So this, I think it's not quite a chunk, it's bigger than a chunk, and it's multiple chunks. If I go and have a look, he's actually used this 1, 2, 3, 4 chunks, and he's not quite in the middle of it right here. He's a little bit offset from the middle, but he's using all 4 chunks, but his stuff isn't actually set all the way within the chunk in a way that it maybe could have been. Like his smeltery, for example, is right between 2 chunks. I don't know if that really affects the smeltery too much, but if we avoid looking at the chunks, I love the way this base looks, because, and again, it's not completely finished, but I like all the open space. I like the use of the laser rays because it again fits his build so far, and it gives you that kind of futuristic feel to everything, which is great. The amount of basalt that he went through and chiseled and placed is just incredible. Everything is basalt, but it has a really nice soft black look, which again adds back to the, the futuristic. So here we go. Here's what kind of I was talking about, the ME controller. So this is a massive ME controller that he's using here. I don't know how many blocks he actually has, but for the setup that he has, he doesn't really need something this big if we go and think about what M was actually using at his base. So, you know, I don't know if this was more for a look perspective because it kind of fit his motif, but yeah. So continuing on, this thing is amazing, this Galacticraft stuff. His technology doesn't seem up to the place for this Galacticraft stuff, so I'm not quite sure how he managed to get so far with this. Just so it's got to be a look thing, because that's definitely not needed. But anyways, because the rest of his technology seems relatively primitive compared to Galacticraft, because Galacticraft is tier 5, so I'm quite surprised that he managed to get to this, as everything else seems quite simple. There's not a lot of machines around, which doesn't make me think that he would be that far. Oh yeah, these are definitely being used for look rather than anything else. Oh, and something I've always wanted to do, he's put these really high rather than low at his base, which means he's got to use the actual beams for something. These beams look fantastic from the Void Aura Miners, and you know, I love the fact that he's actually made use of them, which is great. Ooh, we have machines down here. Okay. What do we got? Okay. Oh. Right. Okay. He's got stuff going, so I mean, that's something. And for some reason he's making a ridiculous amount of cotton. I have no idea what he's making that much cotton for. But okay. But yeah, so this is Cabose's base. I told you it is pretty amazing when it comes to the way it looks. This is also one of my favorite little areas. But again, maybe he just got into tier 5 because he's got the basic contamination unit as well, which again is Galacticraft, well, it's extra planets. So he must have been in that tier. I maybe just didn't have everything set up. I guess that's why he was moving from one base to this new base, which you can tell isn't finished. I mean, yeah, these are amazing. Glowing glass, if you ever get a chance to use them from extra utilities, use them. They produce light. So am I the only way? Yeah. So time set night. So that's all that's producing that light. He has glowing glass at the top. He has glowing glass there and glowing glass there, and that's all their light that is needed. He does have some areas, but with additional glowing glass, it would have been just fine. It's so good. Glowing glass is the best. Okay. Time set day. Okay, so... Ooh, I wonder what's up here. I wonder if this is where his rocket is. Rocket, hello? Nope. Looks like astral stores. Astral sorcery. Okay, moving on. Claims list. Okay, so who have we seen? Cabose, syntax. Let's go have a look at QT. Nope. There we go. Spectator. Apparently I can still burn to lava. Nothing here. Which is a bit strange. QT is a builder as well, so I'm quite surprised that there is nothing. That's a not so hidden thing there. Oh, base! Here we go. Oh, I love it. I love the use of these blocks here. They are pretty fantastic. But unfortunately, this base is a little on the early side. QT Katera did actually have some issues with like, what is it called? TPS? No. MS? Connection? He's in Russia, I believe, or they're in Russia. So their connection wasn't that great, so they weren't able to play. They had lots and lots of lag. Oh, that's what the water's for, because he just dropped down. I wonder how he got up. But yeah, so this is pretty cool. I this is quite interesting, this lattice effect that he's created with the blocks and with the oh, what are those called? Slabs. I would assume that was to try and limit the height of his trees so that he didn't have to climb up to get all of the wood that he needed, but yeah, I do like this idea. And also the if you look on the mini map, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 6, six-sided, so sectagonal like shapes. I'm losing the plot, I'm telling you. Sectagonal shapes. So it creates quite an interesting look. That's interesting. Oh, oh, there's an inside. Huh, cool. But yeah, so there's an inside. The red piece of wool there. But yeah, so it creates an interesting look actually on the map itself, which I love things that look interesting from a map view, because then you can do something like this and you can see your base, which looks great. So, going back to our list, where did we get to? We've seen Danex, we've seen Ems. I don't think Subnoise has anything going on because him and Dr. Talos had joined forces. Kaigoku we went to, we can go and see Dirk's, but his wouldn't have anything going on because he had a dirt block. So I think the only thing that would be left would be Buzzy's, which would be fine because we can go and look at Dirk's because it's nearby. Oh, no, I forgot. It is, am I still in Spectator? I am. So, this was the bee house, which has got something that has been, what's it called? Mothballed, but it's got the energy queen in them, which creates a ridiculous amount of power. I think, this is I'm not sure what this is actually. Oh, Nanobot. How about that? But yeah, so this is the queen. And yeah, it was basically the energy bot for all of Team EU's basically power needs, which was quite ridiculous. He did have a open computers B that sat at the top, but for some reason it doesn't seem to be working, which is a bit disappointing because it would have been great to see. And just to kind of show you what I was talking to, this was M's base again, and here we are, the red blood tree square floating. It's floating. I'm just transferring everything to the blood tank, which is interesting. Right, so Dirk's little box was this way. Here we are. Oh, it's not actually dirt, it is actually wood. But yeah, so we have a little bit of a garden, which was quite cute. And then on the inside, we have his little dog, which is called Wolf. And then his 2 chests, and that's basically as far as he managed to get. And I left him a good little sign. We did do a little bit of a playthrough on the server, but we didn't actually end up posting on YouTube. It might be something that I post at a later date once I can figure out how to get it to upload in a relatively good place. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I don't think there's, at least from this list, I won't be able to pick up any of the other claims, but from those who use grief prevention, I was able to go to their houses. We'll just check out Subnoise just out of curiosity. I'm freaking at bedrock. Subnoise was the server hoster, but we won't be using him going forward. Yeah, this is like I know, completely random spot. Yeah, I don't know what that is. But yeah, so he was the server hoster, but we won't be using him going forward. as we've are migrating it to a different server host. But yeah, so that's the server. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like and let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any answers to some of the things I wasn't quite sure about, that would be fantastic. And I hope you have a good day. Bye bye.